Hello and welcome to the first episode of Plant Detectives. In this episode we'll cover Silphium, what was it, and how did it go extinct? Silphium was an ancient medical plant used in ancient Greece and Rome as an all-purpose healing agent. It went extinct sometime prior to Pliny being born, and now only exists on coinage and ancient writings. Using these coins and writings, researchers have attempted to figure out what this plant species was and what happened to it. You'll start off with a paper by Dr. Gemmell, written in the journal Bulletin of the History of Medicine in 1966. Let's begin. The first known use of silphium was written about in the Greek colonization of the country of Cyrene during 631 BC. As such, Cyrene is likely the origin point of this species. Silphium was also referred to as laserpicum, which was used to make a condiment called laser. And laser in general was derived from a group of plants called the laserworts, or as we would call them now, the carrot family. This indicates that silphium was part of the carrot family in ancient times. Using the pictures on the coins, they have come up with various possible plant species that silphium could have been. Silphium is described as having heart-shaped seeds, which were often plastered on coins and used in various symbols. In fact, the typical heart-shape symbol comes from the silphium seed itself. Also, the coinage has a picture of a large carrot family member flower on it, as well as the fact that other words for silphium are also used to refer to other carrot family members like celery. Using this knowledge, many researchers have narrowed down the possible origins of silphium to the following species, which include Ferula tingulata, Faspia gargantia, Prangos ferulalis lycia, and two of the plants used to produce the chemical astaphodia, which replaced silphium after it went extinct, which includes Narthex astaphodia and Scarmosia fotida. Later hypotheses also refer to the possibility that it was not grown in the kingdom of Cyrene, but was instead exported from Africa. Although this hypothesis contradicts the textual evidence we have regarding silphium, which indicate that it was grown, in fact, in Cyrene. Although Theophrastus mentions that it was also found in Libya in its wild form. The flowers were described as quince yellow in coloration, with long, deep roots, further evidence that it was like a member of the carrot family. Theophrastus also described the species in great detail, indicating that it was probably a Ferella species. Silphium was also depicted on various coins and vases within both ancient Greece and Egypt. Utilizing these depictions, Dr. Sprengel concluded that silphium is a strain of Ferula tingulata, and a great many other researchers seem to agree with this hypothesis. Although the species is mostly grown in North Africa, both in its wild form and cultivated form, it is rare in Cyrene, but there are populations where it dwells in the wild within that region. Another researcher, Domesticus Vivini, stated that it's likely that Fapisa garganita is in fact silphium, due to the fact that it's commonly used as a source of different drugs in the ancient French markets, and is used in much the same way that silphium was used in the ancient past, and is still commonly found within the Cyrene area, where many pointed out as silphium, possibly indicating that silphium was a cultivated form of this species, or a strange variant or subspecies. It was also initially hypothesized that Prangos ferrucilia was silphium. However, it was found to be less pungent and had a different life cycle than silphium and grew in Syria but not in Cyrene. The ancient researcher Theophrastus also ruled out the two Asafoetida chemical producing plants as possible origins of silphium because neither of them have ever been found in North Africa, leaving little doubt in the ancient mind of Theophrastus that Ferula tingulata is in fact silphium, and that some form of Ferula tingulata, or a closely related species to it, was the origin of silphium. It also appears that this plant seems to revert to a more wild form when cultivated from seeds, as written by Hippocrates. This may indicate that Silphium was not in fact a cultivated subspecies, but rather regular Ferula tingulata, grown in an environment where its character traits would manifest in a different way. Now on to what made it go extinct. The ancient writer Pliny the Elder described that in ancient times, various farmers would rent out land for pasturage, and those tenants would strip the land clean through sheep grazing. Alongside this, overharvesting was a common factor of ancient Roman times, especially considering that Silphium was used extensively as birth control during the ancient world, which even led to a decline in birth rates within ancient Rome during the era of Augustus, who created new laws to try to raise the population of Rome. Silphium was also considered high-quality forage for sheep, which improved the flavor of the meat, which led to individual farmers even using lawless behavior such as tearing down fencing to try to get as many sheep onto that land to feed on it as possible. This decline would have also been exacerbated by the fact that the wood from a plant called a fuon tree was very popular for making furniture. This resulted in a large amount of clear cutting of the wild forest of Serena. This would have caused soil erosion, which would degrade the environment of which Silphium would have grown in. There were also revolts of peasant farmers who took over other farms, and in the absence of the knowledge that those pieces of land need to be made to go fallow to rejuvenate the land every so often, these lands were overused for cultivation of various herbs, spices, and beans, and grains, forcing the farmers to use land that Silphium was growing on. Silphium was also destroyed by Roman armies to plant garlic, which was used extensively in medicine to treat war wounds as warring continued. All these factors together would have contributed to the end of Silphium within that region. Well, that about covers everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to me on BitChute for a greater variety of content, 4 videos a week. And thank you to all my subscribers on both platforms. I appreciate it.